Hi again. We now have a very good idea of the role of the children's coach and the key elements we need to consider when developing sport programs for children. Over the course of the 3 MOOCs, we will go into a lot more detail in all these areas. But right now, we want to share with you a little summary that we are sure will help you stay on track. We have called it the iCoachKids Pledge, and we would like coaches and sport clubs all over the world to commit to it. The pledge contains 10 golden rules that will guarantee that a sport is a positive experience. I'm going to take you through all 10 points very quickly, and then Chris is going to help me explain what each of these golden rules means in the real world. So here go the 10 rules. 1. Be child-centered. 2. Be holistic. 3. Be inclusive. 4. Make it fun and safe. 5. Prioritize the love for sport above learning sport. 6. Focus on foundational skills. 7. Engage parents positively. 8. Plan progressive programs. 9. Use different methods to enhance learning. And 10. Use competition in a developmental way. Okay, so what do these 10 rules really mean? Most importantly, what does these look like on the ground? Over to Chris for the first one.
Rule number 1, be child-centered. Always have the best interest of children at heart and listen to them. It's about what children want and what they need, not about the parents or the coaches. Make sure to take the adult glasses off and try to see the sport through the eyes of the child. It looks a lot different from where they sit. So why not ask the kids some questions? For example, why do they come to your sessions? What do they like or dislike? What other experience of sport have they had?
Rule number 2, be holistic. Try to see and develop children in your sessions as people first and foremost, not only as athletes. For example, try to develop their psychosocial capabilities and not just the physical ones. To do this, use activities that engage children at more than just the physical level. Make the most of teachable moments and challenge them to think as well as to move.
Rule number 3, be inclusive. Be prepared to cater for all levels of abilities and motivations. Coaching is not a one-size-fits-all. Pay attention to every child, not only the good ones. Get to know the kids you coach and dare to coach them differently. And make sure you remove all barriers to participation, so every child feels welcome, regardless of their background, motivation, ability, and previous experience.
Rule number 4, make it fun and safe. Children want to learn and to have fun doing it, and they also want to feel safe. As a coach, you must create enjoyable and caring climates, an atmosphere that allows children to thrive and that keeps them coming back. Go out of your way to build great relationships. Spend time on it. Nothing else matters until you achieve this. And what about fun? Well, it sounds counterintuitive, but don't let learning get in the way of fun. Bear in mind that when you, the coach, have fun, so will the children. Go on, coach, let your hair down.
Rule number 5, prioritize the love for sport above learning sport. As we already know, only a small proportion of kids want to be elite athletes. And of those who do, only a minimal number will actually become elite athletes. Yet, all of them have the potential to become healthy, active adults. Creating that fantastic legacy is part of your job. Make sure children want to come back next week for more. Make it fun, make it enjoyable, make it varied and novel. Make sure they are learning. Make it a social experience. Get them hooked.
Rule number 6, focus on foundational skills. During childhood, coaches should not worry too much about the specific skills of their sport. At a young age, kids need to gain essential motor skills. They also need to learn the basics of how to play games using generic tactical principles. This focus on foundational skills leads to lifelong participation as well as higher levels of performance. And yes, if you are coaching a specific sport, your sessions will have a distinct sport-specific flavor, but the main ingredients should be fairly generic. As children grow and develop, you can then introduce more complex movement and sport skills and tactics.
Rule number 7. Engage parents positively. Parents are not the enemy, but the biggest resource at the coach's disposal. They want the best for their kids, and so do you. Partnership is the key word, but you will never know what parents can offer if you don't talk to them. We have to open and maintain regular lines of communication with the parents. And yes, parents can sometimes be overzealous and do or say things they should not. However, as a coach, it's also your responsibility to help them understand the best ways they can help their kids make the most out of sport. The role of the coach as an educator cannot be overestimated.
Rule number 8. Plan progressive programs. Remember, coach, you are taking kids on a learning journey. Coaching children should not be about picking by Saturday to win a game, but more about reaching long-term, holistic goals. This can only be achieved when we have a good plan in place. But this plan must be developmentally appropriate. What does that mean? It means the plan needs to take into account the children's age and stage of development, and the best ways to help them progress. Remember, children are not mini adults. You have to make the game fit the kids, not the other way around.
Rule number 9. Use different methods to enhance learning. It's vital that coaches understand that learning is a complex process and it doesn't happen overnight. Here is the thing. There is not one single best way to coach. Different coaching strategies are better suited for different stages of learning and have different effects on the learner. Repetition, skill circuits, grid drills, games-based learning all have a time and a place. It's not an either-or situation. The art of coaching is to know when a child or a group needs to be exposed to one type of practice or another. The goal is to maximize their chances of learning and retaining a skill or concept.
And finally, rule number 10. Use competition in a developmental way. Let's be clear. We don't think competition is the devil. Competition is neither good nor bad by itself. It all depends on how it is organized, presented, and managed. When done properly, competition is an amazing motivator and a lot of fun. Competition can also teach children a lot of good skills and attitudes like fairness, sportsmanship, respect, and teamwork. We just have to make sure that the format and the atmosphere around the competition is appropriate for the kids. Competitions that replicate the adult version of the game are bound to be an epic fail.
So, how does this sound as a recipe for positive sport experiences? The main ingredient for the coach is understanding that our job is to take children on a journey over time to become whatever they want to be. Isn't that beautiful? As coaches working with children, we must be very clear that we are their guide on a journey of learning, discovery, and enjoyment. But the destination is ultimately up to them. Let's not forget that. Okay, so now it's time for another reflective learning activity. See you soon. Thanks.